everyone, it's the Psychic Sleuth. I found my camera, so thank goodness. Alright, we're going to jump right into it. This is for Johnathan Morris, John. I actually did this reading Saturday the 30th, and I will post screenshots of the area that I got, how it matches, and everything else that is relevant after the reading. So, for those of you that are new here and like this kind of thing, true crime, psychic medium readings, hit that like button and subscribe button. That's how you can help my channel out, which I really need help with my channel right now. As many of you know, this is what I'm doing full time and kind of struggling with it. So links are down below as well for merch, book, donations, or any way to contact me. So this is going to basically be a validation reading because I wasn't able to get it out on time. The day I was going to get it out was the day that they found him. So yesterday I was going to post this, and they found him yesterday. So I was actually asked by a friend of the family. At the time, I was half asleep, and I didn't know he was newly missing or even who he was. For personal cases, I asked for donation because I have to slide them in with my paid readings, and as of right now, things are really, really hard. It's usually only what people can afford and isn't a crazy amount. But if I had have known he was newly missing and who he was and wasn't half asleep, I would have gotten up and worked on it right away, not asking for anything. I was asked later by my team member, Ashley, to work on it as she was in the area, so I did. Later that night, I remembered that message and went back to it and realized it was the same name. I've been out of it really badly. I've really been out of it lately. I've had so much going on, which I'll explain on the live I'm going to try to do today if I can. But I did message the lady back right away and let her know that I worked on it, and if the family wanted the information, they were more than welcome to contact me. I was going to release it anyways, as I do, hoping that it can help. I did 2 readings on this in one day. The first one was taking us to the area, the location. The second one was kind of the description of what was around and a little bit on the guy that was involved. More of the situation, but not a whole lot. I was pushing for info at that moment, so I think the second reading might have confused things on the location. The first one definitely had the location in it and told us how to get there. So this is for entertainment purposes only. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. These are just psychic medium impressions. Okay, let me explain for anyone that is new. Information can be past, present, or future, symbolic, or have multiple meanings. Spirit will usually use my own experiences and how I reference things to try and explain situations or the information they are trying to bring through. Sometimes it can be like playing charades as you try to figure out what they are trying to show you or to say. In situations of cases, I'm finding out that I can see from the perp's eyes or the victim's eyes, which I am now realizing I did in this reading, which I didn't know at the time. Information that comes through can be connections or areas can be in the way or surrounding. I did find the area and I'll explain further. There can be interconnects, so not everything may fit, but I think in this reading it did. However, my readings have been more focused and it hasn't been happening that much lately. So the first reading, it was more focused on the area, and then the next I got more of what happened and other stuff, like things around it. I really think it kind of confused the area description. I should have just stuck with the first one as far as that was concerned, but so I started off not having a great feeling about this. There was 2 things that were coming in. Some form of type of depression or down feeling, and I kept seeing a white or light-skinned guy. Now, visions, I can get descriptions. This can be a Mexican guy that is on the light side, or somebody just with lighter skin. It turns out this guy he wasn't like a dark person, and so I try to explain that to people. Like, if I say I'm getting a light skin tone, it doesn't necessarily mean the person's white, but just I'm seeing lighter skin tone. So keep that in mind. So I was seeing him faintly, and now I understand after thinking more about this. This first part is about the perp and seeing it through his eyes, and also being guided to location. So I kept seeing the door close of the car and something happening with the keys. Then I saw him walking away from the car. I didn't see who I was seeing. I was seeing it from someone's eyes, point of view, like seeing out their eyes. I kept seeing a wooded area, and then they told me that the car was found in the woods, but I still felt like that he was in a wooded area. but I was getting a wooded area and a creek of some kind, and a parking lot with stores. The parking lot with stores was just something around the area. I guess there was one within 5 minutes, but there may have been something on surveillance, and that's why it kept coming through. I realized, because you guys got to realize I get everything for a reason, so it's going to fit in one way or another. I was saying I couldn't see if anyone was involved at the time, and that's because I was seeing it through, I believe, the perp's eyes at this moment. Because I saw someone walking away from the car. I know now it wasn't Johnathan. It doesn't happen that often where I see through the perp's eyes, not in this way, so I didn't realize. Then I just kept feeling a creek in the woods, and I just saw tall trees and the ground being covered like forest stuff. That was symbolic. I got the color red, so I wasn't sure why. I said they haven't checked those woods yet. That's crazy to me around the car, because I was kind of getting the feeling that he wasn't too far away at this point from the car. I was asking how far the creek was from the car as I felt cold, and I was like, I only see him by himself. I really think I was getting the perp at this time. I said, I think you need to go in the direction of the creek. I kept getting a tall trees in the creek, and then it ways down. I said, there's a larger body of water, like a pond or something. There was a river and some ponds around and further down. I said, he's in the area by the car, just not right by it. He's up by the creek. And I'll show you screenshots of the area that I pointed to and was like, this is interesting, it's a pool. So I will post that, and it did end up being the street he was found on. I just think the second reading kind of confused my searchers. But when you go back and read the reading, he said it right here. I kept picking up depression and pills. Now remember, I can't get things that surround the perp, so it might not be him, but I don't know anything about him or anything like that. So I asked if it had been cold out and he could be wearing red or have a red bag. I kept getting something about a bag or red at this time. I was feeling he wasn't alive, and they kept showing me someone leaving the car, but through the eyes, so couldn't see who. Again, I think it was the perp at this point. I thought he was bullied, or there was a white male or light-skinned male that kept coming in, and I almost felt this being racial in a way, but he's got to be within 5 miles or 5 minutes. Don't go over that. My numbers can be minutes or miles. I said, okay, so from the car, hopefully it's not mirrored. I want to walk up. Then I want to follow the creek. Then I was getting, he was before a larger area of water, a pond or like a pond, and I think there may be houses around the pond or close by it. I think I was picking up the river as it's larger, and there's house at the end of the road, and if you keep going up, it's the river, Cohansey area. So I also get a reference to different pathways, like dirt pathways. I hear the third, so I don't know why. I guess he was found the third day of actually searching, so that's why that makes sense. I felt cold and wet, and could be the snow. I asked about if it had snow there, and she said yes, they got snow that night. I said he would be under the snow or snow on him. The snow was a factor in finding him, I said, and it was. He was under the snow. I will post the news where it says that. I said I kind of want to say he's between the water and the trees, straightforward if you follow the creek up. He was leading from the car. The best way was to follow the creek. That was the only way I think that he could describe where he was, so that I would look for a creek and follow it from the car up, which is exactly you'll see in the pictures. I kept saying between the car and the pond. I really think the pond was the bigger parts of the river, but there are ponds around there. I just kept feeling a larger body of water, like in the distance. And I said I don't get anywhere else at this but this area. And at this time I was trying to see if the car was put or whatever, but I saw someone walking from it. At the time I thought it was him, but now I think and I believe that it was the perp. I kept picking up pills and around someone. It could be symbolic for medication and depression. I said I feel he's findable. I wanted the person that I was talking to go down from where she was, which was the right direction. And I kept getting that the creek was followed, or that the key to finding him from the car, like I said, if he's not in the water, he's cold and wet, which he was found under the snow. For a moment after this reading, we thought he was found, but it was the bag. Maybe that's why I was feeling it earlier, and it was far away from where he was. So I was picking up the creek and the river, and sometimes you can't tell the difference, but I'm guessing it was because some of the creeks flow into the river and they were close by. So I did another reading about 30 minutes later. I wanted to see if I could pick up more. So I felt that he was gay, and maybe one day he wanted to have a sex change or go in that direction. I was picking that up before. When I saw him, I thought like feminine energy. This may be another reason for bullying. I don't know. It's not by his looks in the picture, because it was coming in faintly before, but I picked it up kind of like a feminine, female energy feeling. And for those of you who don't follow and don't know, I forgot to put this on there, but I do read my own reading. So this is my reading, and I'm reading it to you because I do it prior. Okay? So anyways, it was a feminine energy, sensitive kind of energy that wants to fit in. But for some reason, I felt a trap in some way. I don't know what happened yet, really fuzzy. I feel like he had a lot of fake friends around him. I kept picking up maybe he wanted to be a girl, or that he's just really a female feel around him, feminine feel. Nothing wrong with that. We all have many lives as other sexes, so sometimes we come in kind of confused, or there's lessons attached to it. I wish more people would understand that. There wouldn't be the issues that there are. But that may be the depression too, not happy in their own body. So my head hurt at this time, and I was getting different things than before. I kept seeing a rock coming at my head, so I don't know if that actually happened at all besides what we know now. I had a hard time getting a passing. New souls are hard to connect to sometimes, but I kept seeing something coming at me. Maybe this is symbolic for being blindsided. I heard that as I was typing. And again was a reference to a creek. And that's the second time I saw that kind of vision. I saw it in Gabby too, so maybe it's like symbolic for being blindsided. Because I heard that word right now when I was typing it up, and I was trying to figure out, well, why was I seeing that? So again, a reference to a creek, and then the feeling of leaving the car at this point. And I think the reason why they kept showing me the car and leaving the car and walking up from the car was the way we were going to find him. And I did keep going back to that. So, but anyways, it was from someone's eyes, though, again, at the perps. At the time, I didn't realize this, but I felt the car felt moved. So I don't know if he drove it to this spot after what he did. So I'm wondering if, whoever he was with, put the car there. I don't know. I think Johnathan liked this guy, or there's that feeling there. I still see him on the lighter side, the perp. I think that's why I thought he was white, but I kept getting a T. I'm not really sure if it's a connection or what. So I kept hearing trap. Again, I kept seeing a reference to pills. I don't know why. And it was all over the place at this time. And again, lots of reference to trees, creek. I heard the words left of Perry, where the bag was. If facing the car up by Perry, this would be to the left. I thought the bag was to throw it off. So I was feeling National Forest or Preserve. Cohansey is very close, and actually where the bag was found in that area. Green Witch came in, which is down by the car, and he was showing me an eagle, which there's eagles in that area, and some sort of tower. So I got a lot of trees, and the creek kept popping in. Now, remember, I get areas all around, so at this point they were describing everything around because I already had gotten the location. The reading was more of, let's see, the first reading already gave locations, you will see. Sorry, I repeated that. The left side of my neck was hurting for some reason, like the collarbone area, like here. I'd be curious where he was shot. I get bullying around this. Either he's depressed from what someone was bullying and tricked him. Someone was a bullier and tricked him. So I don't know if there's even rocks around here. I just kept feeling blindsided by something in my head coming at me. The way the forest looks, it reminded me of a forest. Cohansey kept coming in, which it was in the area, around the area. I don't know if this is considered right outside or actually, but I hear the words car was moved by someone. See someone else walking away from it, kind of walking, running. Kid feels like he was lured out there now. Getting more into this, a promise of something. I get trap again. That word kept coming in, and in my head kept hurting more and more. I kept getting a brown sign, so I don't know if this was to reference a reserve in the area, if there is one around there, I don't know. I got like wet areas, marshy, like around the forest. Sometimes doing a reading can confuse things. And there is a marshy area, like if you keep going to the edge of that street, it's all marshy right there where the river is. So I think doing a second reading can confuse things. I think it confused us on the location. We already had it. And again, the creek, however, the presence of the river farther. And I felt like I was being rolled. So I don't know if he rolled him in somehow, but I was getting, almost as I'm talking to you guys, it's like the guy took the car up the street, dumped him, brought the car back and left it, I think. Or there's some kind of, it's something with the car that keeps coming in. So I kept feeling cold and freezing now and ice. The perp's hair is brown or dark brown, shaved on the sides or shorter on the side like a fade, but longer on the top. And I heard 5'7", so I'd be curious how tall he was. I think he could be ethnic at this point. I didn't see his skin as dark, which it wasn't when compared to this guy. He does look on like a lighter colored skin. It's just not like, darker Mexican color. He's skipping back to driving and weed. Sometimes, sorry. He skipped back to driving around and weed. It comes in as being smoked in the car. So I don't know if there was a shopping center with a parking lot where there could be something on a camera, but that kept coming in like the parking lot, and I don't really know why. I kept picking up a cemetery street. It's the street at the end of where his car was, so maybe that's why. I heard the word pedal or petal. I don't know, maybe the flower, or it could have been he was trying to say the last name Perez because it's P-E sound, and I just couldn't make it out. At this time, I kept picking up a description of Cohansey area, which this area is very close to, and the area where the bag was found is actually in the preserve. So I kept hearing February, so I felt he would be found then, and he was found February 1st. I kept getting a reference to a hat, I think maybe black. I kept getting hate crime, bullying, trap, etc. I feel this kid just wanted to fit in, just wanted to be liked by, certain people. I feel like I'm tricked by someone. I thought he liked me or he was my friend. I also heard crush, so maybe he had a crush on him. I don't know why that's coming in or if it relates, but it's like someone tricked him acting like they liked him but didn't. I felt more forestry by the creek, just random spot with trees, if that makes sense. I was asking about flowers. There's a nursery nearby, we found out. I think that if I would have just went off the first reading as far as location, then that would have been it. The second one kind of confused things on the area, but I wanted to see more of the person and what happened, which I still didn't get too much of for some reason. I kept remembering the first vision I had from the car following the creek up, so that's what I did. I went back on the map. I started from where the car was. I'll post screenshots. And I followed this. I put it on where you can see all the waterways and stuff, and there's a creek. There's the car right there, and then there's a creek that goes along this road. So I was following the creek up, and I took a screenshot, and I said, this is a pool, meaning I'm pulled to here, and it would make sense if he's in the car and he got out and he walked up this road, he'd still be following the creek. Because for some reason, that was the only way to describe was to follow the creek. So I'll post screenshots. By the way, that is in fact where he was found. It was Archie something road. I didn't zoom in, but when we looked up my screenshot, it was Archie Platt Road. Platt. Okay. My condolences to friends and family. Alright, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.